How you doing, guys? Today I figure I'd do a short review on this Quintesson Pit of Judgment that I just got about 2 days ago. Really happy to have gotten my hands on this. Initially, I missed the first release on Hasbro's website, so I was kind of bummed out because I figured, man, now they're sold out, and I'm gonna have to pay crazy aftermarket prices. Thankfully, Hasbro did do a second and I think even a third release, so I was able to get in on the second release, which I think I placed my order in October of last year. And I believe initially, I think this was listed to ship in March, if I remember correctly, but then it got pushed out to June. And here we are. Again, I just got this about 2 days ago, so I haven't gotten a chance to really play with it too much. As you can see, I took the cardboard background out of the packaging here. I will be keeping this. I like this actually packaging wise is it's really nice, and then it's got the you guys can see there the artwork from the 1986 Transformers movie with the characters, etc. So again, pretty stoked to be able to have this now, and I really like that artwork back there. So we'll put that aside. I think in addition to obviously the cardboard background that you see there, you do get these instructions, and it just kind of goes over how to transform some of these guys, and the figures are included. So I figure I go figure by figure and maybe do some comparisons with some of the other figures that I have in my collection. So I figure let's do the easiest one, which is Kranix here. This is really made out of really soft plastic. I don't believe any of these joints move. I'm not going to attempt to move them. It seems actually very fragile. So there's really no articulation. Um, I wish, yeah, I'm not gonna bother turning his head or anything for fear of breaking it. But it's got some nice details on it. Again, we see this guy, I think, being sentenced to his doom. I think he's the one that says, "Spare me this mockery of justice," right? But really nice. Again, nice details. There's a lot of detail here. Just wish it had some articulation. The feet are kind of fused in together there. And this is the smallest one included there. I'm kind of almost wondering how this thing would scale with the new arc that's coming out in a couple of weeks or months. So I guess we'll see. So that's a really nice toy. Doesn't transform or anything. It's kind of there. The next one would be this one, which is a prosecutor. Again, this one doesn't transform. I don't think, at least from what I recall, these guys didn't transform in the show. You do get this effect here. I guess that's supposed to be how, he floats and stuff. The head does turn slightly. Kind of reminds me, the head reminds me of a Geiger alien from the Alien and Aliens movie. But that's about it. There's no articulation here on the tentacles. Um, yeah, it's got some nice details. Again, I wish, granted, I know scale in Transformers, especially in Transformers. It's kind of hard to define sometimes. It seems like it changes from episode to episode. But I could have swore these guys were a little bit bigger. It seems really small. So I kind of wish they would have made this a little bigger. I mean, it's nicely detailed and everything, and I don't think you need a lot of articulation for these guys other than the head. And perhaps I also wish they would have made these movable. This is all soft plastic here. The rest of these is hard plastic. But again, really nice detail. Very, again, reminiscent of what was in the movie. So we'll put this one down here. The next one is this Sharticon, which my understanding is this is a mold from, I think, Titan's Return or something, or older line, which I recall seeing it back then, but I didn't get it. I wasn't too crazy about the design, and then I was kind of regretting it. So I'm glad they included it on this set. I did see that Hasbro is also going to be releasing Gnaw, which is, I guess, it's a Sharticon essentially, which you can use to troop build, I guess, if you wanted to. And it's definitely way more better than this one, at least from what I've seen. But this was not so bad. The transformation's, I think, fairly simple. Keeping in mind that I've only had a chance to mess with these things like once a whole time, but essentially you kind of just slide these hands down. These actually become the feet, but we'll mess with that later. You kind of just slide that down. And back here, you kind of move this, and then you just kind of hide that in there. Then this kind of becomes the bottom jaw there. And then the rest of the transformation is mostly here in the legs. And essentially you're just going to move this and these up, and then you can kind of see the leg there, and you kind of just move these forward. And as there's a peg here that goes into this, to the hole, sorry, that tab. And the same thing here on this side. There's also tabs that kind of, I guess you probably should put the the feet together first, then do the tabs, yep, and then you can kind of just put the legs together, and then as you could see, you have this tail there, and then essentially, if I'm remembering this correctly, it's like that. And right there you have your Sharticon. And the tail, essentially this section here, there is a section in the middle here that can kind of fit in. Oh wait, this is supposed to go up. That's his fin. That's why I'm having such an issue with this. And you kind of just, yep, there you go. For such a simple transformation, I think is very efficient. Again, it looks really, really nice. Again, I know the newer one is probably going to blow this one out of the water, but this is not so bad. I think it's really nice. I mean, other, I guess, than the legs kind of just hanging out. But there you go. You have your Sharticon. I like this. Again, really nice detail. As I said, really nice, simple transformation, but I think it does its job. So, and I guess you can kind of mess with this as needed. There you go. Yep. But Sharticon. Again, I like this one. So we'll put him aside for now. He sits there. The next one would be what they have listed here is a bailiff, which to me was just kind of, I guess, one of the guards that was always guarding the Quintessons there. I really like this, the way this looks. I think is a really neat transformation. I guess the only, I don't know if it's lacy, but just the way they hide the hands are kind of just there. Then his tail here, I believe you can take this off if you want to. I'm just gonna mess with it. Yep, there you go. So you can take that off. You can use this as a weapon when he's in his robot mode, so that's not too bad. And then you kind of just have to work it in there. Yep, there you go. But overall, I think this transformation is, again, does his job, is very, very efficient, really neat. I think, you know, when he's standing there like that, and you can post his legs and everything. He does have some articulation here in the ankles, some ankle tilt. I think like that, he does look really nice. Again, this transformation is fairly simple. Again, I've only been messing with this once or twice so far. I haven't really gotten a chance to even look at the instructions, but I do have the Alicon, which it's kind of like it's pretty much the exact same mold. But you know, you kind of just start back here and you move this, and then you have to turn this way, this tail like that. Once you have that, you can move his head up, and then up, move this. That's part of the waist. Turn the waist. Once you do that, then you kind of just turn this down, and essentially you just kind of close the legs, the tail, sorry, like that. So once the tail is there, you kind of just undo. These arms are tabbed in here on the side, and same thing here. And you turn his arms. And this figure in robot mode I really like. Again, he looks very chunky and hefty, which I like. And you're supposed to turn his arms, I believe, this way, or at least that's the way they had him. I think I'm just gonna put him like that for me, but you know, you can put him how you want him. I think this robot form is really nice. His head moves, his arms, they turn. I think here you got some articulation there. And again, it's the same ankle tilt as before. But I really like this. I like the colors. I like the, I guess that's brown and green there. And the head, like I said, the head turns. And he does also come with his own weapon. So that's it's like a little spear axe. It's technically two pieces, which I guess this is like a mace and this is his axe part, but you can join them like this, and then you have like a long spear that he can hold. And essentially, this goes from the bottom like this. So you kind of take that apart, and then you put it under the fist, and then you kind of just join them back up. And then he has his spear, I guess, or whatever that is. But again, really, really nice. I'll just put this right here. And next one is the actual Quintesson Judge, which I really like. The colors, again, they're very vibrant. These colors are very different from the actual one, the separate Quintesson that came on its own. And again, really, really nice. I think the colors pop, especially on these parts here of the faces. He comes with this chair, which you can use to sit down. I know this transforms into a platform, which these guys in the movie didn't transform, or at least I don't believe they did. So you can put that aside. That's like his chair where he sits in. And again, really nice. The tentacles here are articulated. They go up and down. You can move them. They all do the same, pretty much. The cool thing here is that you can take this part out. You just gotta move this, and then you could pull this out. If you wanted to take that out, I guess, for whatever reason. This guy does transform. I'm not gonna transform this one specifically. What I've done is I have my the previous version that I got. So I'll bring that out in a second and what you hear rattling in there is he has a gun. He comes with a gun. Okay, and the cool thing is, I guess the plate portion of this is the fact that there's a handle here, and you can kind of see if I could do it without messing it up. Yep, there we go. You move this slightly. As you guys see, I'm turning that, and the faces kind of turn. Really cool. There is, as I said, this guy transforms, and we hear rattling, and there's a gun that he comes with that he can also hold in one of his tentacles. Let's see if I can get this in there. I'm like trying to do this one-handed. Hold on. Okay, I think I got it. And he could do that if you wanted to. And take that off. You can just put this back. But I think this is really nice. This is my main thing. I think other than getting all the Shartikon and the bailiff and the prosecutor and Kranix, just to sort of have that reenactment of that particular scene. But this is a really nice figure, I must say. And then, as I said, you can... He has... This portion here has pegs. Sorry, 2 holes that go into these pegs here. And essentially, you kind of just have to find there you go. And he can just sit there. I move this guy and that guy. But let me move this down slightly so you can guys get that. But really nice set. I really do like you know, all the different characters there, and the background's really nice. I think what I'm gonna do is this is cardboard. Mine's slightly bent here, but I'm going to display this in a detail. I'm gonna put all these guys. I think from what I've seen, it fits. So that's really nice. And then I figure, like I said, in comparison to this guy here, the bailiff, the Alicon, which again I have him in his beast mode, and this is pretty much the same mold. And again, the transformation is fairly simple. I do like the colors better on the bailiff than on the Alicon, but this is not so bad. This is really nice. Again, I think so far with these toys, Hasbro and Takara have been doing a great job. But you kind of just unlatch this, same thing, turn it, move his head up, tuck this all the way. Well, before you do that, turn this, turn his whole waist, and then bring this back down. And then essentially you just kind of push all this down and tab it in. And that's, you know, untab the arms. There we go. Untap this arm, turn these hands, turn the hand, and you have the Alicon here, which, as you can see, it's pretty much the same mold. Really nice there. I like these both. The color I like a little better right here on this guy, but this one's not so bad. But again, it's the same. I like that with the paint and with the, you know, slightly different things like the shoulders here, you know, the spikes or whatever. You know, they made them look so different. The chest is also different as well, but again, really nice here. And this guy also does have he has a spear, so you can put his spear in his hand, and then you can put him to guard the Quintessons together with his buddy. So we'll put him right here. And as I said, this particular guy here does transform. I'm not going to transform this guy here, but sorry, let me move this guy. But this Quintesson does transform into, let's see if I can get this in the frame, this thing, which I guess it's supposed to be some kind of a platform. And I know in this, you know, you can fit little robots in here. You can fit, you know, the Kranix guy here and lock him up. And he's in the cage right there. As I said, the Quintessons didn't transform in the movie, but I guess it's just part of the play feature of this guy. And I guess I don't really transform these guys, the Quintesson judges, just because, again, they didn't transform in my book. So, but this is, again, it's very simple. This kind of attaches. Oh, there goes that. The only thing I had is when you transform this, it does tell you that the head part, sorry, is supposed to go just like that. I guess just kind of sitting there, but it's kind of weird. But this thing, as you saw on that one, his chair or throne, transforms. So you just kind of move this up, tabs in there and tabs in there, and then you have his seat. So really neat. And this is pretty much the same thing as that. Kind of just take this off. This is the floating effect that you use to put the guy in. The cage part goes inside of his head. There's two things here, the holes and the tabs that go in there, and you kind of just boom, and that's the top of his head, which is the same thing that's here. And then the next thing would be to move these platforms up. Same thing here. This is like that, like that, like that, and one more. And then essentially, then you start bringing the heads on. Two of these, if you compare them to the other three, and it's the same thing on this guy, like there's no, so this is two pieces. So just, I usually do these first, kind of move them down and tab them in. Sometimes when you move this, you may just pull the head off of here. So I kind of just grab both by here, by the hinge. And then I do in the same thing here. If it comes off, you can always put it back. It's just a little hard to play with. You're kind of almost there. And then you kind of just, same thing with that guy, head. And the floating effect. And then same thing. This one has the same play feature as that one. And you kind of just hold him by there by the side. And he spins. You have your 5 faces of death, or whatever it's called. I know one of them is death. I forget. Wisdom, something like that. But again, really nice. And this guy does also sit on his throne. So we're gonna try to do this. Okay. And he does. You can see that there. Cool. And the same thing as this other guy that came with the set. He sits. His tentacles move up and down. But I guess just to compare them, I'll pull them both up. But the gray on the left one here, which is the one that came with the Quintesson set, is lighter. This one's much darker. This is a standalone, the one on the right here. The faces also are painted like you see this guy here. Paint's different. Let me take these chairs away and show you they can stand on their own. Also, the thrones obviously are one on the Quintesson Pit of Judgment is gray. On the standalone is this green. But as you can see here, the faces are painted slightly different than the standalone, which is here on the right. The green is it's brighter. Overall, the colors on the Quintesson Pit of Judgment are a bit brighter. I guess a bit more glossy, I guess I would say. In some cases, like this is red here, and that's orange. And then on this face here, the green is slightly, I guess, deeper here and then brighter here. Yeah, and the tentacles, you get gray tentacles. And on the standalone guy, you get these green tentacles on the Pit of Judgment judge. But yeah, now I have 2 of them. I was thinking of getting a third one, another one of these perhaps, to sort of have a trio to complete them. But I guess we'll see. And again, my plans to display this in in a detail with the guy just kind of sitting there in the middle there, and you can reenact. You can maybe, if he fits, put this guy here, put this other guy right here. If he doesn't decide to take a dive, he can kind of sit there, and then the little guy here, Kranix, and we'll move this guy to the side here. I just want to move this so you guys can see it. And you can put the Sharticon there. He's about to eat him before they pass Judgment on him. But a really nice set. I think he goes along really well with these other two, which I think these are going to be how I displayed on my detail with the background there. For comparison, I don't have much. I guess we have Cup here. I know there's that one scene where Cup and Hot Rod here are fighting. They get tossed in and they transform and start fighting the Sharticons. I think these guys here are going to scale better with the bigger Sharticon, because I think right now these, I think these are too small. But I guess if you wanted to for now, you can do that. Let's fix this. And then I guess the big thing too is this guy here. This is the Studio Series 86 Grimlock, if I'm remembering correctly. Really nice toy. I also have the Masterpiece version of this. But he can then harass the Sharticon here and eat him. But again, really nice. I think when we get the other one, Slag, and the other Dinobots, if you wanted to do some kind of display where they're fighting, or rather, that wasn't much of a fight. I think the Dinobots were just beating up the Sharticons. And like I said, I did pre-order the newer version of this Sharticon. No, that's up for pre-order. I pre-ordered 3 of them. I'll try to see how that goes as far as the but you could see there just the size difference. I think that scale actually works between Grimlock and the Sharticon. But again, overall, I'd say this set, this Quintesson Pit of Judgment, I think is definitely worth it. A couple of things I wish they perhaps could have done differently is maybe made the, I believe that's the prosecutor there, a little bit bigger, and maybe make the tentacles articulated, but I don't know, again, price points and all that. The Sharticon itself, it's a nice addition to the set. I know that's a older mold, but again, I think really nice set. I think if this is something you can get your hands on, I would highly recommend it. But anyway, if you hung out to the end, thank you for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this, and enjoy the rest of your day.